Chosen one, God has removed all obstacles. It's your time. There are moments in life when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders. You may have looked around and seen delay after delay, door after door shut, and wondered if your breakthrough would ever come. You've waited patiently, endured storms in silence, and held on to your vision when no one else could see it. You've walked through seasons where it felt like nothing made sense, like every effort you made was met with resistance, rejection, or sudden loss. But now, something has shifted in the atmosphere. This is not a coincidence. This is divine timing. Chosen one, God has removed all obstacles. It's your time. The energy that once blocked your path has been swept away. The delays have been dismantled. The detours that once confused you have now led you directly into alignment. The resistance that once stood in your way has been replaced by divine flow. And you, yes, you, are stepping into the season where the way forward is not only clear, it is blessed. Before we begin, watch this video until the very end. There is something powerful here for you, something the universe wants to confirm deep in your soul. And as you watch, I invite you to drop your warmest wish in the comments and type 777 as a sign to the universe that you are ready to receive. This is more than a video. It is an energetic transmission. It is a bridge between where you've been and where you're going. By declaring your wish, you're planting the seed in the field that has just been cleared for you. You're declaring to heaven and earth that you are no longer blocked. The timing is now. Your path is open. The divine current is carrying you forward, and all you need to do is trust it. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Chosen one, your whole life has been preparing you for this moment. Every delay had a reason. Every obstacle shaped your strength. Every silence built your spiritual muscles. You are not stepping forward by accident. You are stepping into a moment that was written long before you arrived here. You are entering a chapter of favor, not because life suddenly got easier, but because God has decided that now is your time. The barriers are gone because the blessing is due. The burden has been lifted because the breakthrough is near. You didn't miss your turn. You didn't fall behind. You were being positioned. You were being trained in silence for a public victory. The energy that once opposed you has no power over you now. It has been dismantled. It has been handled by unseen hands. You are not stuck. You are free. What you don't realize is that so much was going on behind the scenes. You saw the delay, but didn't see the protection. You felt the stagnation, but didn't see the rearrangement. You heard "not yet," and didn't realize it was a divine "get ready." The path you're about to walk is the one that has been cleared by grace, and this time, nothing will be able to stand in your way. Not doubt, not fear, not the past, not people, not circumstances. Because what has been removed was never meant to remain, and what is coming was always yours to claim. Chosen one, the divine detours have ended. The road is no longer under construction. It is ready. You are ready. Heaven is ready. You've spent so long trying to understand why things were so difficult for you, why every step forward was met with resistance, why doors that opened for others seemed locked tight for you. But the truth is, your journey required refinement. You were being fortified in the furnace of adversity, so that when your moment arrived, you wouldn't just survive it, you would thrive in it. You were being made strong, not for struggle, but for success. And now, every ounce of strength you built is going to carry you into victories so massive, so undeniable, that even those who doubted you will have to acknowledge your glow. This season is different. It's not like the ones before it. It's not about trial. It's about triumph. It's not about delay. It's about divine delivery. The energy you're feeling now is not confusion. It's confirmation. It's the sense that something massive is moving on your behalf. And it is. Things are coming together in ways you never imagined. Resources, people, ideas, and timing are lining up in perfect synchronization. And the reason? Because the interference has been removed. What once tangled the wires of your destiny has been unplugged. What once distorted your vision has been cleared. What once caused you to question everything has been neutralized. You are now walking into clarity. Let me remind you, this didn't happen by chance. This isn't luck. This is favor. You are not where you are now because of coincidence, but because of calling. You've been marked by the divine. And when God marks you, no one can unmark you. When the Creator decides that your time is now, nothing and no one can stop it. They may try. They may doubt you. They may criticize your rise. But they cannot stop what has already been ordained. The divine signature is already on your next chapter. It's already been approved. The only thing left is for you to believe it and move in it. Not hesitantly, not with fear, but boldly, with the knowing that the obstacles are gone and the way is clear. With God's blessings, you are invited to bless this message by giving a divine gift of $20 or more through the Super Thanks button on YouTube. Together, let's spread faith, hope, and love, bringing light not just into your own life, but also to those who need it most. Your generosity becomes a seed of inspiration and healing for countless souls. There is a sacred stillness that comes right before the biggest blessings arrive. You might have felt that recently, a strange calm, an unexplainable peace. That was not silence. That was preparation. That was your spirit sensing that the season of struggle is giving way to a season of supernatural shift. It is no longer time to ask, when will it happen? It is time to say, I'm ready. Because you are. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're perfectly on time for the miracle that has your name on it. What you thought was a setback was actually the setting for a stage that was being built for your elevation. You're not walking into opportunity by accident. You're being ushered into destiny. You must understand, chosen one, the obstacles were never about punishment. They were preparation. They weren't there to stop you, but to shape you. They taught you how to trust, how to listen, how to discern. They helped you develop spiritual precision. And now, because of that, you are ready to move differently. You no longer need to push against doors. You no longer need to force your way through. The divine hand is opening gates wide before you. What used to take years will now take days. What used to feel like a fight will now feel like flow. The energy of resistance has been replaced by ease. Not because you've changed your path, but because God has changed the atmosphere. This is the moment where everything begins to make sense. The pain, the waiting, the confusion. It all had a purpose. You are about to witness how every piece connects. How every no led to a greater yes. How every loss was really a divine substitution for something better. You didn't fail. You were redirected. And now, you are standing at the edge of your new beginning, not as a wounded survivor, but as a powerful creator. Because now, the power is in your hands. The timing is on your side. The blessing is within reach. You are walking into rooms that were once shut tight. You are accessing levels that were once out of reach. You are becoming the version of yourself that was hidden beneath layers of survival. And now, you thrive. There's no more need to explain yourself. No more need to prove your worth. The divine has already confirmed it. The obstacles have been removed not just to clear your path, but to clear your mind. You're no longer carrying the weight of confusion. You're no longer battling invisible forces that tried to keep you down. That war is over. That season has expired. Now, it is about movement, momentum, and miracles. Now, it is about rising. Not because you have to, but because you're called to. The stage is set. The spotlight is warming. And your name is being whispered in places where doors are about to swing open for you. You've been prepared for this. You are not going to stumble into it. You're going to rise with confidence. You are no longer the person who has to question every step. You've been through enough to know how to hear that still, small voice within you. That voice is louder now, clearer now, because the noise has been silenced. The blockages that used to confuse your discernment have been lifted. Your path is not just open, it's illuminated. And as you step forward, step with the knowing that you are being supported by something greater. You are not alone in this movement. You are being guided. You are being carried. You are being celebrated in the spiritual realm. All of heaven is watching as you rise. All of creation is shifting to support your growth. The forces that once tried to hinder you have lost their grip. They no longer have access to your energy. You've leveled up. You've outgrown the old frequencies. And now, you're aligned with the highest vibration of your destiny. You don't need to force anything anymore. You don't need to beg or chase. What is yours will meet you on this path. Because the obstacles were never the end. They were the test. And you passed. You stayed faithful. You stayed grounded. You stayed committed to the vision, even when you couldn't see the results. And now, you're about to see what that loyalty produces. Favor, acceleration, open doors, overflow. You're about to experience what it feels like to walk into a room and know that you belong there. Not because of credentials, not because of connections, but because of calling. Because you were sent. Because it's your time. Because the way has been cleared for your rise. You're stepping into days you once dreamed about, chosen one. But this time, you're not stepping in with uncertainty. You're stepping in with the deep knowing that it is yours. Not borrowed, not temporary, not conditional. Yours. Because when God removes the obstacles, it's not just about external things shifting. It's about internal alignment. You're not just being allowed to move forward. You are being equipped to expand. What was once blocked is now blessed. What once felt impossible is now inevitable. That's the kind of divine turnaround you're walking into. Not a slight improvement, a complete shift, a supernatural redirection of everything that once stood in your way. You've waited in the shadows for long enough. You've watched others rise while silently nurturing your vision, guarding your energy, protecting your dream from the noise of doubt. But the time for hiding is over. The time for silence is ending. Your voice, your gift, your power, it is all being activated in this moment, because the barriers that once made you shrink have dissolved. The fear that once made you second-guess yourself has evaporated. You're not the same person who walked into that valley years ago. You've been transformed. You've been refined. You've been elevated. And now, you're ready to show up fully. No more minimizing your presence. No more questioning your worth. The stage is not too big for you. It was designed for you. What used to trigger anxiety now triggers excitement. What used to seem overwhelming now seems like an invitation. That's what happens when the blocks are removed. You no longer perceive life through a lens of resistance. You start seeing through the lens of opportunity. You start walking with divine confidence, not arrogance, confidence. The confidence that comes from knowing that if God cleared the way, then there's no reason to hesitate. If the doors are open, it's not just because you knocked. It's because the divine has decided it's time for your next level. This isn't just promotion, it's alignment. This isn't just success, it's sacred fulfillment. This part of your journey will feel unfamiliar at first. You're used to having to fight for every inch. You're used to navigating around resistance, always bracing for the next setback. But this new chapter flows differently. It's not about forcing or proving. It's about flowing and allowing. It's about receiving without guilt, rising without apology, shining without fear of dimming someone else's light. You're not in competition with anyone. You never were. The removal of the obstacles wasn't about racing ahead of others. It was about aligning with your own lane. You're not late. You're right on time for your divine moment. And now, the universe is bending in your favor. Don't be surprised when the things that once felt hard now begin to feel natural. Don't be alarmed when the very doors that once rejected you now invite you in. That's the power of divine timing. That's the energy of spiritual realignment. People will look at your rise and say, "It happened overnight," but they won't understand the depth of what you endured. They won't see the years of tears, silence, inner battles, and spiritual growth. But that's okay. Let them see the fruit. Let them witness the glow. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the blessing that was assigned to you. You only owe it to yourself to walk in it fully. With boldness, with joy, with reverence, your path is now protected. The obstacles were not just removed. They were replaced with divine guidance. You're not walking this road alone. There are unseen forces walking ahead of you, behind you, and beside you. You are surrounded by spiritual support. Every step you take is being watched over. Every decision you make is being aligned for your highest good. And even when challenges appear, they won't feel like before. They won't break you. Because you've already been through the breaking, and what's left now is the building. This is your building season. You're building your legacy. You're building your future. You're building something that cannot be shaken. The momentum that's behind you now is not normal. It's divine. It's acceleration birthed from alignment. That means you're going to begin seeing progress in areas where you once only saw delay. You'll make more in a few months than you did in years. You'll attract the right people without striving. You'll land in the right places without having to beg for entry. That's what happens when the obstacles are removed by the divine. It's not random. It's intentional. And you are the chosen vessel for this move. You're not riding a wave. You are the wave. You're the shift. You're the change. And everything that's coming your way is just a reflection of who you've become. The work you did in private, the healing, the praying, the releasing, it has all added up. Every tear you cried was counted. Every silent prayer was heard. Every moment you felt forgotten was actually a setup for the season where you'd be seen and celebrated. You're not invisible anymore. The divine spotlight is on you now. Not to expose you, but to elevate you. You are being lifted in ways that will seem surreal. But it's real. It's happening. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for external validation. This moment is yours. It's been written. It's been protected. It's been sealed by divine intent. You are being surrounded by favor from all sides. People who once ignored you will now be drawn to your light. Opportunities that once passed you by will now come knocking with urgency. Doors that once seemed closed for good are now swinging wide open. And it's not just about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening inside you. You're starting to believe in yourself again. You're starting to dream again. You're starting to trust the process in a new way. And that shift in belief is unlocking more than you could ever imagine. The divine is responding to your faith. Not your perfection, your faith. Your willingness to move, even when you were afraid. Your decision to stay the course, even when it looked like nothing was working. That's what cleared the path. Chosen one, you've crossed the threshold. There's no going back to how things used to be. You've outgrown those old cycles. You've surpassed those low vibrations. The energy you're in now is sacred. It's elevated. And it's attracting blessings that are equally elevated. Don't be surprised when your old life no longer fits. Don't be surprised when people you once resonated with can't understand your current frequency. That's not rejection. It's redirection. You're being guided into rooms that match your growth. You're being ushered into environments that reflect your destiny, not your past. The elevation may feel lonely at times, but it's purposeful. It's positioning you to receive without distractions, to build without resistance, to rise without interruption. And yes, there may be moments where fear tries to creep in. That's natural. You're human. But remember this, the fear is a liar. It's a leftover voice from an old season. It has no power in your new chapter. Because fear cannot survive where faith lives. And your faith has never been stronger. You're not who you used to be. You're not thinking the same. You're not reacting the same. And because of that, you're not attracting the same. You're magnetizing miracles. You're drawing in the divine. You're stepping into the kind of life that once seemed like a fantasy, and realizing it was always meant for you. You've done the inner work. You've prepared the soil. And now, the harvest is coming in rapidly. You don't have to chase. You don't have to force. You just have to align and allow. Let the divine do the heavy lifting. Let the blessings find you in your authenticity. Let the right people locate you because you dared to stay true. Your energy is louder than any introduction you could make. Your growth speaks volumes. Your light is undeniable. And that light is what cleared the way. It broke chains. It dissolved resistance. It opened portals. And now, the flow has begun.